Leave them where they are.
Well, I hope this roof lasts. How weird is this? The wind's not even getting under here at all. Getting a big storm.
Oh wow, those clouds are moving real quick.
Don't go outside, Pocket. Ciao, buddy boy. Go. Ciao, buddy. Chapo's out. Alright. So I was having an afternoon sleep. I suddenly was woken up because of the wind. He wanted to go out. He doesn't want to be in the house. I don't know why. He's pretty upset. It is crazy. I'm just going out and check on these horses. Oh my goodness me. Okay. We do get tornadoes here, and oftentimes when we get them, they don't tell us that there's going to be one. It just happens, but I don't think it's one of them. I think it's just a very, very big stormy thing coming through. We did have a bit of a storm earlier. So I'm going to just have a quick check of it. Make sure. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see where it's coming. Might lose some of our... Okay. It's not bad yet. It's actually all right now. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can... Freaking out. Not too bad, actually. It's probably going to maybe miss us, I'm hoping. Apparently, my daughter said she just had a big storm where she is, which is about 45 minutes away. I can see the clouds over the back there, but over this way, it's not that bad. They're freaking out because of I can see what's going on. They're freaking out because the lid's come off of this. It's actually just... Oh. It's all right, buddy. That's what scared you. Yeah, I know. It's okay. I don't know how this works. Kind of... I don't know what's to go with it is, but... That's going to just blow away. So over the back there, it's pretty dark. Getting pretty dark over there. If it starts lightning, I'll go inside. As long as it doesn't turn into a tornado, I'm happy. When we get the tornadoes, usually you'll hear a roar. So if it starts roaring and I can hear roaring, then I'll pay big attention. It's coming out. Oh, I got quinces. Many quinces. Look. Baby quinces everywhere. Apparently quinces are worth a fortune now. We've got them just growing all over the place. They're wild. Look how many there are. Lordy, 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 lordy. Quinces everywhere. Oh, that's good, Hazel. I'm glad. It's good. You'll go okay. You'll be right. I've actually ridden horses in really severe storms and things like that. Actually, I got stuck one time with Zara, and I was out with Sarah, me and Josh, and I was on Zara. Sarah was on Ted, my thoroughbred, and Josh was on Arrow. And we went out on a big ride, and then we got caught in the middle of this massive hail and thunderstorm. It was mental. Zara surprisingly behaved really well in the storm. We all got to ride home. And the horses didn't panic or anything. Oh, hey, Bobby. Missy, what's the matter? Oh, your eye. Hurt your eyeball. I need to get that seen too. What's happened there? Probably. Yeah, that black patch coming over the back there is pretty crazy. Here it comes. Oh no. Uh-oh. Hey, don't be arguing. It's so nice though, the wind is beautiful. I'm glad I didn't go to that thing that my friend went to. I hope she's okay. She's not too far from here either, on the horse camp. Wouldn't want to be in the horse camp. Well, here we go. Come back up from there, girls. I'm going to move out from under the trees, just in case we get a loose branch flying away. Oh yeah, so we got big clouds on this side as well. Then it's clear, then it goes, oh, it's going around in a circle now, except over that side. So, big old gum trees. That's the one I've got to watch. Big old gum tree there. I'll stand out in the middle here. Oh, what I should do is really put this down on the float so that they don't, so it doesn't get ruined. Let me get a chair and get up and fix that up, because that's probably got to be done. Otherwise, if it doesn't have the back on it, it's more likely to get screwed up. Alright, give me a second. Oh, yeah. I don't usually like storms at all. Don't like being near them or in them or around them. But this is okay. Now, hang on. I'm going to turn this around so I can put it where I can see things. There we go. Up. Okay, hold on. That's not going to work. There we go. I'm just going to fix this up really quickly. Just real quick. Get that back of that float fixed up. Up top. Oh. Still can't reach it. I need a ladder. it. Get around. Good. Rightio. That's protected. Alright. It's coming over pretty black over there. Okay. Whoop. What's happened here? Okay. So Trump will clean up. I agree, Katie. Even though I'm not in America. Let's hope he does. Because the dumbasses of Australia follow everything the Americans do. So if you people go insane and do stupid shit, we follow like idiots. It's not good. So hopefully he turns all this shit on its head and cleans it all up. That way we'll have a back to normal, where a boy's a boy, girl's a girl, and you can't go to jail for mistaking the wrong thing. I actually got a form today when I had to go and get my knee checked at the hospital. They asked me, it said, what is your gender identity? That's now what they're asking. What is your gender identity? And I wrote down female, and then I put in brackets, normal, born this way. Only thing that I could possibly be other than this is a male. I am not a male because I do not have a penis, and then I closed the brackets off. They would have had a bit of a laugh when they got the form back. Actually, the woman didn't look too happy. She looks like one of those woke jokes, but I don't know. I mean, I get it, but it's getting ridiculous. I get that for some people, they truly feel trapped and whatnot, but a lot of these people are just sheep jumping on a bandwagon trying to just get some importance happening for themselves, and fortunately, it doesn't really help them. It doesn't actually help their mental conditions either. It doesn't help them at all. It's very sad. They end up wasting a lot of their life and later on torturing themselves. It's not good. Now I've just discovered a problem. My fence is no longer electrified the way it needs to be. So I'm going to have to fix that. Hang on. I need to get a new clip. Now let's see if it works. It's working. I can hear it. Well, it looks like the storm's like kind of going slow now. Doesn't really think. I don't think it's going to hit us. I think it's probably go round us maybe. I don't mind if it does that. Wouldn't be too bad. Oh, someone's hitched a ride on me. Off you go, buggy. You can see it's pretty dark over the back there. Pretty cool. I love storms too. I like watching them at your place. Your storms are awesome at night in the dark. There's something really cool about them. Oh, look at this cranky girl. Cranky Prancies. Both of these girls are very cranky. You're gonna get zapped. Oh yeah, you're gonna get zapped. Oh yeah. Yeah, you just got zapped, you dickhead. Yes, look what happened. Now you're blinkety blinking like a crazy silly thing. Oh, you're all right. I know. I know. She's giving you griefies. It's all right. Yeah, I know you don't liking her, do you? She doesn't like you. She said, leave her be. Come with Mum. Come on. Come on, Ellie. Over here. Come on. Elephant. Ellie. Come on. No, big sulky. Look at the big storm coming through. A big stormy. Big sulk. He's a big sulk. Sometimes he's a big sulk. I know, sweetheart, but I don't want to put your veil on just in case. Lily. Zara. Come over here, bub. Zali. Come on. Come over here. Come on. She's like, I don't want to move. I want to get boxed in. Understandable. We don't want to get boxed in. No, we don't. What is it? Hey, what's he got? With a bug cleaner, bug catcher, bug scooper. Oh yeah, thank you. Do you think it's going to come through here, or do you think it's just going to go round us? That looks like it's coming slowly, but it's very slowly. Rachel rang and said they had a big storm. Bad one. Yeah. So I can't hear any thunderous roaring yet, so it might just go round.
Said we're supposed to get rain like in the next hour or something.
Oh, okay. Well, then it might hit then. I think it's not going to. I'm not detecting it in my bones. Usually if it's going to rain, I can feel it in my bone.
Yeah.
But I think it's mostly just going to be a bit of wind, maybe a spat of rain, but nothing major, I don't think. I could be completely wrong. My bones might not be working.
I think I'm going to sell river clay. I'm just going to
Yeah.
make up a whole bunch of river clay and sell it.
Yeah, good idea.
Big, massive blocks for like $100.
Yeah, clay's expensive.
Yeah. Because I can make it so cheap.
Yeah.
Just got to sieve the gravel.
I want to try my pottery wheel. See if it actually... My old pottery wheel, the one I got off George.
Yeah.
I want to see what it does. The secrets to the universe are in this horse's coat. This is a map of the Milky Way she was born with. It's hidden sometimes during the year. She's a mystic maniac. But she does look like the universe up close. It's way better in person. When you're in person, it's like actually being in the Hubble telescope and looking at outer space, especially under the legs here. Look at these marbling. It's beautiful marbling colour. And up the front she's got some big marbles. The belly's white under the bottom there. Goes back to dark. Last year she had more spots, so she was more spotty than how she is now. So with this girl, she was more dappley. Starting to get her dapples. Getting your dapples, bub? Oh, I said I will. Yeah. Big baby. Now this is where you got to watch, because if one of them decides that they're going to be cranky at the other, it can very quickly turn into a big problem. Good girl. And they seem pretty relaxed around each other. I really hope that it isn't storming over where they're having this thing. Where my friend's having her horse clinic. I hope it's not storming there. I think it's not going to, because they're kind of over that way. Or it's a bit dark over that way, but they're more that direction. That's orange direction. That's Dubbo direction. That's Central Coasty direction, maybe. Somewhere along that line. I don't know. Now, what happened here? Got a knocking on your noggin. Flogging on your noggin, hey? What did you bang into? What did she do? I don't think we're going to get the storm now. Karajoki. Yeah. Hey, KK, how you doing? Long time no see. I did actually, I briefly saw your comment. I think it was a comment you put on where I crashed on Ellie, maybe. Yeah, had that accident. It was pretty crazy. I was lucky though. Gotten back on a couple of times and I'm petrified. Yeah, I'm working on, so KK, I'm working on trying to be not scared to ride again. And it's very hard. I'm having a bit of difficulty. My bones are screwed up. I'm old. Actually, I had my knee checked today, so I should get the results in the next probably 3 or 4 days. Well, next Monday maybe. About what they're going to do about my knee. Because it's still causing me trouble 5 weeks later, 6 weeks later, Ellie. I think it's 6 weeks. Huh? Huh? Oh, yeah. Starting the tractor. Make sure it's second. Oh, she Bubby. Oh. Miss Ellie. I just really hope I think I'll be okay eventually. It just might take me I think once my knee heals right up and I've got confidence that I can move quicker, then I'll be a lot better. Because at the moment, look at this girl. She's just causes so much trouble with the other one. Poor Zara's trying to get the heck away from her. And she's like, I'm coming to harass you. Look at this. She's harassing her. Going to get a kick in the face if she's not careful. Zara's just about had it. Yeah, you tell her. You move her back. Give her a kick if you have to. You're going to get smacked in the face. She is warning you and she's backing up. Now you better stop. Lily. Actually, Zara's, no, she's not happy. See, Ellie's basically trying to see Ellie's tail. So she's getting very, very, her tail's swishing like crazy. She's agitated. Ah, and I knew that was coming. Yeah, good one. This is why I tell you. Yeah, and this is your own fault. Don't come and sook to me. Your own fault. Understand that. You're backing up. Yeah, look at you. So she's in season right now, and she is squirting everywhere, all over the damn place, trying to boss this girl around. Very, very naughty. Oh, silly old thing. You silly old thing. She's just doing a lot of silly behaviour. She's going to get it. You're going to get it. Stop. I'm going to have to get bloody Vernon back out again in 5 minutes. Stop it, you two. Right after you get the Cairo out, that's when they start pulling this nonsense. Having a fight. Yeah, naughty and quick. They're fast. No, she knows what Zara's doing, but she's actually, Zara, because Zara's older, she's going to get it now. Watch this. Oh, no. Yep, see that nod Zara just gave her a little nod there? She's going to, yep, see, she's putting her head the other side. So whenever she does that side nod, that's a big warning. That's like, you fuck off. Look at her. Yep, see? Push her nose up like, go over there. Piss off. And Ellie's just young and dumb. She's like an annoying kid that wants to boss around the other kids. Aren't you? You're a big, annoying, giant, silly baby. Crazy baby. Yes, you are. Yeah. There's a lot of cues you can see right before they're going to kick. But they give a lot of subtle hints to the others to just warn them. She's going to go back again and start again. Look, here she goes. Now watch, this time Zara might go completely berserk on her, or she might just go, fuck it, I'm not going to bother. Alright, let's see what she does. Okay, Ellie's going to probably try and shift in closer. Yep, here she goes. She's taking advantage of Zara being distracted. Okay, Zara's like going to stand there. That's not bad. Nah, here we go. Hey! What we don't want is her coming back and continuously backing up and kicking and backing and kicking and backing, because it pulls them out of alignment. Then you've got a sore horse for days on end. You just stop being a silly pork chop. Stand there and I'll rub your butt for you. There you go. See, she likes you to rub her on the butt. This is what she wants. Butt rubbing. She wants the other horses to give her attention. She really loves attention, this girl. Got to be the centre of attention. If she's not, she'll cause a ruckus. She'd be a fantastic horse that's with no other horses. Like, I think if she was alone, you'd have her doing anything you wanted, really, just for her to get your attention. She'll do anything you want. Well, she'll do it anyway, but... No, yeah, don't want them in the fence, no. Had many of that have to come out due to injuries from being stuck in fences and things. It's not good. You going to eat my toe? You going to eat my toes? She could get them if she wants to. Yep. Say, I won't eat your toe. It's no good. Doesn't taste any good. I'm not going to end up like Royal Fergie with the toe-sucking incident. Hell no. That was funny when that happened back in the day. Was it all over the newspapers? Some dude sucked her toe and the reporter caught, the journalist got it on camera. It was the biggest scandal in the whole world. Looking back, it was retarded and stupid, but kind of, it was pretty funny. I'm actually surprised. Tocky's being a real good little boy. He's not being naughty. I'm going to go and visit him. She says, no, you're not. As soon as she thinks I'm going to come around there, she's going to block me off. This is what she does. I've got to be very quick. There, she's got that leg cocked there. Don't want to get that. Now she's going to notice that I'm going over here probably, and she'll probably come out. Ah, don't do it. You're an idiot. Don't do it. She's like, I don't care. I'll do what I like. Buddy. Oh, someone's kicked off half the fence here. All right, lucky I saw that. All right, I'll have to go and fix that up because I can't leave that like that. Oh, rightio. This isn't good. Oh. I'm just going to take this out altogether till I can repair it. Who did that? Probably you, Miss Ellie. Wouldn't surprise me. It's probably what you did. She has countless times broken fencing, and if she's not throwing me through the fences, she's kicking through them. Here she comes. What did you do? Just like I did that. I'm like, yep, I know. I can't get over the fence. Okay, here we go. Don't be silly. Watch out, you'll get your head smacked with that. Alright, I'm going to take... Where can I put this? I might be able to use it somewhere else. Maybe. I don't know. If they keep kicking the crap out of that, I'm just going to pull it all apart and forget about it. Probably safer anyway. Although, if she ever took off again, she'll just run straight where there's a star picket. I'd rather go over a wooden fence than a star picket fence. Less chance of being impaled. Alright. Let's get this in. Well, it looks like that storm may be going to go around. It's not really windy anymore. It's settling down. Right, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Again. There's some song from the 80s or 90s that says that. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Something, something. It's like a weird song. It's like a hip hop song. Radio. Alright, really dislike things being left where they can cause a problem. So I'm going to get rid of it. It won't cause one. Whoops, let's go this way. Ow! And I just got myself with the bloody nail. I can't believe I just did that. That was a bit stupid. So if it's going to get me, it's going to get anything that goes near it. Let's put the nails where they can't be harming anything. There. Rightio. Okay. That kind of solves that problem. I've got good news, mate. My hen spent her whole night with the other chickens and survived really nicely. And then today she's been out with the rooster all day again. So she's now had 2 days of full-on hanging with the other chicken and the rooster. Granted, she is with the mama hen who is sitting on the dozen eggs at the moment. I don't know how many eggs are left. If she's lost any more eggs, but I'm assuming there's still 12. I'll actually go and check out how she's doing. But I think this storm's looking like it's pretty much dissipating. Looks like we missed it. Might come back again, but who knows. Oh, hey Layla Dragon, it's been a while. How you doing? Man, it's actually taken off quite a few of those leaves. Ah, and guess who likes these leaves? I'm going to pick these up for the goats. They totally love them. They're going to be extremely happy if I throw some of these over for them. So, nature's great. Some of its destruction is such a good thing because I wouldn't have picked these for them. I would have left it. But it's kind of gone, well, I've done it, so you might as well use it. So we will. We shall. We shall use it. We'll have two very happy goats. And a little bit tidier area. All right, let's go feed them. How much lighter it is. Yeah, I know. It's nearly gone, the storm. Still a little bit around, but it's almost gone. It's not really... It's such a strange place here. We get a lot of threatening rainstorms, but then they don't come by. Otherwise, they're either extreme, full-on crazy flooding storms, or they're fake storms, pretend that they're going to do something and never do. Bit of a con artist, really, because I know a lot of the people over here need their tanks filled up again, and it's not going to happen. Hey, boys, get a mama got. Oh, yum. Straight away. Yeah, that's straight into it. Good boys. David Belly, I'm going to have to do something about your horns. And Billy Joel, yours is starting to go back again. I have to do something about them too. You can't just cut off goats' horns trimming them. You've got to band them and let them break off slowly once it kills because they'll bleed. They'll bleed out. It's not like a sheep. Sheep you can. Goats you can't. My gate's broken again. Hold on. What the heck? Fix this up. And then put it that way. No, that's not going to work. Ugh. No, it's not really working. Oh, I'll fix it later. Well, I need to make a whole new system here. No, that's not working. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. Doesn't want to work. No. Where's my hammer? Where's the hammer? Do I have a hammer? I'll probably just use this. I don't think that's going to work. No, that's not going to work either. Okay. Can't find the hammer. Where would it be? Here it is. I found it. Trusty hammer. One tool you can't live without is a hammer. All right. Maybe this is going to work. No, that's not working. Okay. No. What has happened to this? So in order for it to work, it's going to have to be accessible that way. It's not working that way. Okay, that's not working either. Out. Ah, I got it. You need to go backwards. Okay. Now it's working. Okay. Awesome. All right. Hey, is that raining or is that... No, that's not. Is that rain? Oh. No, I think it might be... I'm not seeing any raindrops anywhere else. It might just be some gum nuts or something falling down a little bit on the roof. Oh, yep. There's some wasps up there. They're probably gonna harass the crap out of everything. Supersonic, oh, stop me now. If you want to watch a good show, it's a Japanese show. I think, Beard, you would like this one. It's called Love Village. Really cool. Hey, crazy cat. You're not in a place where you can listen. Hi. I'll get you. Sometimes that happens to me too. I can't turn the sound on because I'm sitting somewhere where there's people everywhere. And I haven't got headphones. No, storm is... Oh, it's back over there, but it's all right. We'll be right. Beard, just tell Cat Guy I said hi if he can't hear me, because he can't hear me. I can't type to anybody right now because I'm on the... I don't know how to do it on a phone. Can you do that on a phone? I don't know. Getting little driplets and droplets of rain every few seconds, like little tiny bits and pieces. Oh yeah. Here comes the rain. Here comes the rain. Where's it coming from? Not really any cloud up above me. You do like Japanese stuff? Yeah, it's a great little show. It's called Love Village. It's about older Japanese people. So the youngest one on this one's 35, but watch the first season. If you watch the first season, the guy that's the best on that his name's Anchovy. He's fantastic. He's very confused and funny. He's funny as heck. But they're so respectful. It's not like the American and Australian and English TV, dating reality TV shows. They're very respectful. It's very respectful, but it's so endearing. It's so lovely to watch because they're all super lonely, and then they all are going there for the absolute reason of getting remarried before they get, they die. Some are from 35 to like 60, 65. It's a good show. You'd like it. In Japan, yeah. It's more old people. Japan's actually got a lot of issues at the moment with their economy. which kind of, now I'm getting wet, only a little bit, but it is raining. You can just kind of see the little drops starting to come onto the concrete, little tiny ones. It's not much, but it's giving me a bit of a spray. It's pretty nice, actually. I was in town today for a while, and I wasn't there for too long. Well, I was there long enough to get my X-ray thing done, ultrasoundy thing on my knee. This is what I love. When it rains in the tin roof, you hear the tin roof. It's like the best sound you can hear. It's very relaxing. It's really good for helping you go to sleep. Like I put my washing in. All right, I'm going to get up here. Don't stop me now. I'm a supersonic something or other. Still don't know that song. More Japanese in Japan. Might be no more Japanese in Japan in 100 years. Really? Really? Because why? Because they've all moved to other countries, or I don't know. I don't know much about it. Hang on. I'm going to put this onto a stand so I don't have to hang onto it all the time. Well, I think there's very few places where I know, like in New Zealand, there are more Maori people in this country than there are in their native country. They have decided that it's better to come here, I think, because they think there's better wages and things like that, but it really isn't. It just seems that way. The cost of living here is probably higher. So if you're from New Zealand, you're probably better off staying in New Zealand and not coming here, because the cost of living here, people think, oh, well, the wages are better, but they're really not in comparison, because the cost of groceries and rental is astronomical. I think all economies are kind of having a hard time. Most of us are only old people. All the young people are mostly in the cities now. Yeah. It's very sad. And the weird thing about it is that if they only had a little bit of a time to go and live in a village, they'd probably never want to go to the city again once they got out of it. They just don't know that it's better. But it definitely is better being in the country than in the city. Any day of the week. More convenient being in the city, but it's better mentally being in a country place. Don't stop me now. I'm a supersonic something or other. No. Don't stop me. Don't stop me now. I went and had a look at this. When I was in town, I went to the guitar shop and had a look at the little El Cheapo Traveller guitars. They're actually not bad. I don't think they do well, though, in the weather out here, because we have extreme weather. They're very fragilely made. You'd probably want to get something a little Well, it just depends. If you've got a room that you can put them in that doesn't change with the heat too much, you're right. There we go. It's really slowed down now, the wind. Not too bad. This, hang on a minute, I can't read it. The show era art style I'm a massive fan of. You know more than me. I just look at things and go, that's great, but I have no idea what it is. 26 to 89. Especially the retro vending machines. I had to check all that stuff out. I'm pretty stupid. Like, I don't know much. As I was saying one time before, I didn't even know that there were other countries. Like, I had no idea there were other countries for years because I didn't go to school. So I basically didn't know that there were lots of different countries. I knew the basic countries like England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, America, Russia, China, Australia, and a couple other Africa and stuff. The big continents kind of thing. But I didn't realise, like, there were, like, people from Venezuela or people from, where? Like Western Samoa or Tonga or any of them islands, or I didn't even know Fiji existed. I found out about Fiji because I saw an ad once I was finally allowed to watch TV. But before that, I had no idea about Fiji because we had the television was banned for a while there. We were only allowed to watch certain things at certain times. And we weren't allowed to sort of just turn on the TV and watch it like normal people. We were banned from it because it was satanic, apparently. Yeah. But so I just had to learn everything when I finally went to school at the age of 15 after having 4.5 years off, which was probably the most important part of schooling. Like I did year 5, 1 to 5, kindergarten to year 5. Then I had year 6, 7, 8, and 9. I finished year 6, year 7, and year 8, and halfway through year 5. So I would have been about almost 4 years fully. It would have been that I didn't go to school. I didn't know about a lot of things. I totally loved school though. Once I got there, I was like, oh, this is heaven. I loved it. I loved learning. I caught up real quick too. Weirdly, I was able to catch up super fast because I really wanted to learn. After being, environmentally retarded for so many years, not allowed to sort of learn anything except the Bible. I learned how to build the Ark of the Covenant. I built a replica with my brother and father, scaled replica. It was insane. He had it in the garage. It took up nearly half the garage. It was massive. Of course, we couldn't use like the proper golden things that the Bible wanted it to be made of, but he basically did the Ark of the Covenant replica in our garage. That's what we're working on while I wasn't at school. It was crazy. It was a really cool project though, funnily enough. I also built a half pipe, and then I built a quarter pipe, 2 quarter pipes to make a half pipe. So we built a quarter pipe, and then we built a second quarter pipe, and we joined them together and made a half pipe, but it wasn't very good because the join wasn't the best. We used to stack it all the time. But I did a lot of building stuff and learning to build and gardening and fishing and a lot of practical stuff that we learnt. Things about cars and things like that, and things like pulling apart a vacuum cleaner that was broken and putting it back together, but making it, instead of it sucking up, it blowing out and turning into a reverse blower. So it become a garden mulch blower thing. Things like that. We did all sorts of stuff like that. It was cool. Satanic unless I want to watch something. Yeah, that's it. I don't know, but this was not this wasn't Noah's Ark. This was the Ark of the Covenant, which is the one that Moses. I think it was Moses who built it, if I'm remembering correctly. That housed the 10 Commandments, the tablets. So it's a big box basically, and it had angels that's wings were pointed and crossing together across the top of it that were guarding it, and it was built out of all these special woods and these special. And the measurements were all in cubits, and yeah, so we had to study. We studied a book on ancient measurements and things like that as well. We had to learn how to do all the different measurements and conversions for the measurements and things, because there wasn't Google back in my day. You couldn't just Google something. Everything was done by going to the library and studying. No such thing as the internet. Didn't exist. Kids have got it easy these days. They just type it in Google. But back then you had to learn things the hard way. And of course a lot of people didn't know a lot of things because they didn't necessarily always, run into people who did certain things. So you really did learn through exchanges of social interaction. Moses had an extremely humble box. Moses would have, but God made it the way God ordered it to be the way that it was made. Apparently, they were ordered to make it upon God's orders. So God liked a flashy box. He wanted the trinket box to be super flashy, and it was apparently extremely. But when you sort of like the replica that we made, it was insanely good. Like, I don't even know what happened to it. When Dad died, someone took the Ark of the Covenant and it was gone. I would have liked to have kept it for myself and like put it in a garden and made it into like a garden feature. It was awesome. He just made all these, it was crazy. He made all these ways to sort of make the gems and things like that. And right down to he made the priests' outfits. So that were meant to guard and carry the ark and guard the ark. The outfits they had to wear to do to move the ark and take it where it needed to go. They're still looking for it apparently. It's worth a lot of money if it does get found. It's very, very ornate of gold and precious jewels. But the replica that they'd built, which was to scale, it was a big freaking thing. It was like it's like having a huge camphor box thing, but it was very impressive to look at. I'm sure it didn't look anything like the one in the Bible, but it was a pretty good effort. A pretty good effort. Maybe I should try building it again. That was one thing I did enjoy doing. I did enjoy making that. That was something I loved doing. That, and I loved gardening. I loved gardening when I was a kid. Gardening was one of the things that saved my life as well. Just being able to go out in the garden and grow things. And of course, where we were living up at Coffs Harbour, it's a bit more tropical, so we had more things like better, fruits and fruit trees and things. We had things like pheogas, and we could grow bananas and anything really. I mean, my uncle owned a massive banana plantation there and lived in amongst it. A hill full of bananas. Never ever did we need banana. There were bananas all the time. We hardly ever bought food as far as vegetables and stuff went, we pretty much had our own, grew all of them. And we also caught a lot of seafood and fish and stuff, which I was allergic to, but Dad and my brother could eat all that. So we went fishing a lot. So really, we were very self-sufficient. I could eat certain types of fish, brim and things like that. I could eat brim. And I can eat cuttlefish, which is literally what they make calamari out of, cuttlefish. I can eat cuttlefish. But I can't eat flounder. I cannot eat flounder. If I eat flounder, there's something to do with the flounder fish, something in the flounder fish that I react badly to. And I cannot eat any crustaceans or any kind of shells or mollusks at all. Crabs or lobster, which I used to find a lot of lobsters and crabs. Used to go skin diving in the harbour and get lobsters and crabs. Back in the day, there was plenty of them. I don't know what it's like nowadays, but I'd say there's probably none. Used to go off Muttonbird Island and dive around there, and used to get a lot of shellfish and a lot of things like oysters and periwinkles. You can eat periwinkles if you want. You can eat them. The islanders love them. They eat them. People eat sea urchins as well. Oh, I can't eat things like that. Bad reactions straight away. But yeah, we're very self-sufficient. Pretty good at being able to survive without having to live off the modern world. Pretty capable. The only things we really bought was rice. Probably could have grown our own rice if we had enough land. We could have put rice paddies in. Things like, I didn't make bread or anything like that. Well, actually, I did make bread a couple of times, but it didn't turn out very well. Things like bread and butter and stuff, of course, you have to buy. Although Uncle Jim did have a dairy cow for a couple of years. I think they got rid of it because they just didn't have time for it. If you're committing to a dairy cow, you must be committed that you're going to do it, milk it every single day. You can't just leave them and ignore them, or they dry up. And it's very painful for them too. Maven seems to be a bit busy tonight. Maybe we talk about her ears will start burning. I like Maven. Maven's cool. I really love how she does her lives. She's very good, very interesting, appealing. You want to listen to her. She's somebody you feel is an excellent teacher when you're watching her. She has a good disposition about her. Very calm, but to the point, and you know, it's good. I guess you've got to have a lot of patience when you're doing things like making jewelry and stuff too. Well, when I was a kid, one of the guys that my father rescued from the streets, he Mick Cooper, he's passed away, gone. I'm pretty sure he's dead, been dead for a while now. But he was a Vietnam veteran, and he used to make jewelry. And he taught me how to make all these rings and earrings and stuff out of silver. And I forgot all about that for a few years, but I remembered the reason he started teaching me was he knew what was going on in the house. And he's the one who literally, warned threatened, if you don't leave her be while I'm here, you're in trouble. And also Jeff. But, well, the good Jeff, there was bad Jeff. There was Jeff Cotterill, and then there was this other Jeff who we called Spit Jeff, because he used to spit onto your food, and then he would spit in your dinner, and then he'd say, can I have that? And we would just hand him our entire food. He was fucking crazy, that thing. Crazy as fuck. He was, I don't even know what drugs he was on. He was insane. He's the one who cut himself. He cut his own throat, and apparently it was an accident, and bled all over the bathroom, and then I had to go and clean it up. And back then, AIDS was a huge thing, right? So here I am. I was probably about 12, maybe 13. Here I am, blood everywhere in the entire bathroom. There was blood everywhere. I don't know how the hell he didn't die. There was blood everywhere. He'd done something while he was doing something. He cut his own neck open. And of course, they took him to the hospital, and I was told to clean up. And I didn't have any gloves or anything, because my father wouldn't buy gloves. That was just too expensive. So I had to clean the whole bathroom and get it spotless before he got back, Dad got back. And then, of course, the AIDS ad, later that night, Dad had the TV on and the AIDS ad came on. The bowling ball freaking ad with the Grim Reaper knocking down everybody. And then it occurred to me, oh my God, I've just been cleaning this dude's blood up. He's a drug addict. He's an intravenous drug user. He's probably got some kind of thing going wrong. He's a physically unwell guy. And I've just been cleaning and scrubbing his blood all morning, literally, and no gloves. And I cannot tell you how many weeks I spent freaking the heck out thinking I've got AIDS because of him. That's all I could think was, I've got AIDS. And I remember I said to my dad, I want to go to the hospital because I think I've got AIDS because of him. And my dad just laughed at me and said, don't be stupid, and just left it at that. But in my head, I was petrified, because we just knew if you got one drop of blood on you, well, this is how it was back in that time. If you got one drop of AIDS blood on you, you were dead, and you were dead quick. Whereas people from this new generation, they don't even worry about AIDS. If they got AIDS, they don't even care. Like, yes, it causes health complications, but they can live for 20, 30, 40 years. So they're not so worried about it. But back then, it was a death sentence, and it was a quick one. And everybody was panicking about it. I don't know why I talk about that, but anyway, it was a weird time. Very strange. Maybe oh yeah, I just read that. Yeah, the dickhead. That's it. Yeah. Well, I was freaked out. I thought I was going to die. And of course, hindsight's wonderful. You can see, oh no, you'd have to have a cut, and the blood would have to be absorbed, and it has to be under certain conditions, and blah, blah, blah. But back then we didn't know that. Yeah, had a few sleepless nights over that. And the weird thing is, when my father died and we went up there for the funeral, I stayed at my father's house for one night. And the next morning, early in the morning, who's there? No one but this bloody Spit Jeff is out the front. Oh, I heard your father died. I was wondering if I can stay here. I was like, get out. Fuck off. Don't ever come back here again. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, just crazy. But met some colourful characters back in the day. Just lived in a house full of heavily drugged out zombies for a while. I don't know what he was thinking, bringing all these people in. A lot of them took everything, like they stole everything. One of them, Jeff Cotterill, who he's passed away as well. He died from Hep C. But he, and that was from intravenous drug use when he was younger. But he was actually one of the good ones. He was a nice fellow, Jeff. But he was a heroin addict, and we came home one day from school. I would have been just started high school at this point when Jeff was still there. And got me and my brother got home, and Jeff had cleared out the entire house. Anything that was of any value was gone. He took everything. And I had a push bike that basically had been put together by random broken bits of other people's bikes, but I had made it myself. And he even hocked that. He took that as well. He took everything. All Dad's tools, everything. Put them all in the hock shop and then got his heroin fix. Anyway, he tried coming back to the house, pretending he didn't know what he'd done. And eventually he spat it out and said he'd done it and whatnot. And so, of course, Dad had to go to the hock shop and get everything back. But I understand it. He didn't prosecute Jeff. He didn't get the police to prosecute Jeff. He just sent Jeff then away to a proper rehab centre where he couldn't access anything. It was out of town. It's called Sherwood Cliffs. And he went there, and that's actually still running to this day. The fellow called John Pierre, who was a migrant that came over, a French fellow, and Honey, who was his wife. So John Pierre and Honey created this beautiful, actually, it was very beautiful. They bought some very cheap land. Nobody wanted to live there. Sherwood Cliffs was the place where they bought it, so they just called it Sherwood Cliffs. And then they got given a whole heap of old railway carriages, and they turned these railway carriages into all the accommodation, and it was absolutely stunning. And it was a beautiful place to go. They owned thousands of acres up there, and it backed onto, big forest and everything. It was great, but there was no way for these guys to get into town. They couldn't go to town without a vehicle, and it was a long way. So they could never have walked into town. So it was a perfect place for a drug rehab because you couldn't run away and get anywhere. And if you did run away on foot, you would most likely die if somebody didn't find you very quickly, because the Australian bush is pretty harsh. It was off the beaten track. And it still exists to this day. Sherwood Cliffs is still there. There's still a drug rehab. But I think they're a bit different now. They've got a women's section now as well, and they call them seekers. They call the people who go in for rehabilitation seekers. So the seekers used to only be male, but now they're male and female. But I used to love going there because I loved the way they built everything. I was fascinated with it. I would have wanted to have lived in that place. It was so great, like the buildings and the way they gardened it, because they had nothing out there. There was no TV, there was no distractions. So it was like an Amish community, really. It was really cool. But, yeah, it's a good place. Sherwood Cliffs. I actually spoke with John Pierre a couple of years ago. Rang him up and spoke to him. He was working with my father for about 3 years. Dad would go and get all the drug addicts and then hand them. He'd keep them in town for a bit, and then he'd hand them over to John Pierre, and John Pierre would take them out to Sherwood Cliffs, and they'd go out there and rehabilitate themselves. I mean, they're good people trying to do the right thing and to try to help people. And a lot of the people do get rehabilitated and end up being, very productive and happy in their lives. But it is revolved around religion, of course. You've got to become a Christian. Well, you don't have to, but if you don't, you're not going to fit in. It's why you're called a seeker. You're a seeker of God, seeker of Jesus, seeker of Christianity. But I mean, pull the religious stuff aside, they did very, very well to help these people. These were people that otherwise nobody would have bothered with them. They would have just died on the street. So they did a good job. They still do. And his daughter now runs it. Her and her husband now run it. So, really good. But, no, it's sunny as heck now. Look at that. The sky is great. I'm waffling on. Waffling and waffling. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm actually tired. I hardly slept last night. I think I did too much screaming and singing that I couldn't sleep. I was petrified I was going to cark it because I was jittery as anything. I couldn't settle down. I think I just lack of oxygen from doing too many songs. I had fun though. It was fun. I want to do like an outdoor karaoke out on the deck. That's what I want to do. Yeah, it was good. Except when I started crying over Sabrina and Sayuri, of course, because of saying Cat's memory. But I can't help it. It always happens. But I think I did too long. I think I was on there for like 5 hours. 4.5 hours. Singing and singing and singing. It was too long. It's very tiring. Even professionals only do a 2-hour concert. Four hours is a long time. I was actually kind of glad that Josh did the 23-minute song and I didn't have to do any further. But I was like, oh my God, please hurry up and finish this song. I'm tired. I knew I had to get up early in the morning, so I just wanted to go to bed. Well, it doesn't look like the rain's going to happen. It was supposed to have rain around about now. Apart from those couple of little drops that we got, it's really nothing. Didn't really do much. Yeah, emotional singing gets you all right. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I get really bad, like Christmas time. Oh my God, Beard. When it's Christmas, I cannot go to the shopping centre if they're playing Christmas carols because I will cry. I will literally cry the whole time I'm there. I get so emotional and I don't even like Christmas, but I don't know what it is about Christmas carols. But when I hear them, I just cannot function. I'm broken by Christmas carols. Christmas carols break me. If you want to make my life miserable, lock me in a room with Christmas carols going 24 hours a day. I won't last long. I might last 3 days. That's about it. Like I'll go shopping and then they'll put on the goddamn Christmas carols. And it doesn't even have to be a sad one. It can be like a funny one, like, I don't know, or a real happy one. Like, deck the halls with boughs of holly, blah, blah, blah. One of them. Or if it's like the little drummer boy. If the little drummer boy gets sung, I will not be able to stand up. I'll actually go on the ground. It's stupid. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I look like I'm a big Christmas fan. I hate Christmas. But it's the lyrics to the little drummer boy Okay, so when he says to the mighty king, to the king, I have no gift to bring. I can't remember what the words are. I have no gift to give, no, to bring. So to honour him. Oh, I can't remember how it goes, but anyway, when he sings, he can't give him a gift. I just break down. It's like, oh my God, it's the saddest thing I've ever heard. He goes to, all he can do is play his drum because he has no money. He's broke as shit. That's how I think about it. And I think that poor kid would have felt like, I mean, I know what it's like to be a kid and you really want to give a gift to your parent, even though they're horrible. You really, I wanted so many times to be able to give a gift to my dad, even though he was a monster of a man. I wanted to give him things. I felt so sorry for him. But I never could until I started working and earning money. Then I was able to. But when I was very little, the Drummer Boy song impacted me severely. And then it's just stayed with me right up until I'm nearly 50. So, I don't know. And another one that gets me is Good King Wenceslas song. Good King Wenceslas looked down on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. And it goes on to sing something about the poor man trying to do something for somebody else. And you know what story totally makes me the saddest person on the planet? The little match girl, I think it is, little match girl, where she dies in the snow because she tries to sell match. I can't remember what happens, but she tries to sell matches and then she dies in the snow. Oh my God, they did a cartoon on it, and I've seen it when I was a little kid, and I never got over it. Because she died in this cartoon. She dies in the snow. They find her frozen body. It's like, it was horrendous. I don't know what the hell they were putting that on TV at Christmas time for children to watch, but they did. Shit. Yeah, Christmas songs are pretty crazy. And hymns. I cannot listen to hymns without feeling extremely emotionally blackmailed into believing in God, possibly for 5 seconds. That's what happens when I listen to a hymn. I mean, they're a bit crazy sounding. Have you heard the hymn that says, "Are you washed in the blood? Are you washed in the blood? In the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb?" Now, I remember sitting there as a kid thinking, what in the fuck is this? Am I washed in a soul cleansing blood of a lamb? That is pretty crazy. This is what I used to think. Because when I was little, I didn't realise that the lamb was the Lamb of God, meaning Jesus. And then you're washing yourself in Jesus' blood. But even washing yourself in Jesus' blood is pretty crazy. But the hymns are pretty dark. When you take the music away and you read them, they're pretty dark. Some of them are terrifying. And yet they thought, Elvis was satanic, but a lot of the hymns sound pretty satanic when you don't look at them from a religious point of view. You just read them as words. They seem pretty crazy. When you went to Shaker Village, they almost converted you. Oh. Well, I was converted as a child. I thought I was a soldier of God, and I was meant to go saving souls all over the world. I even had these dreams that I was meant to be doing all these things when I was little, because it was all pushed into my head, of course. And I really, I mean, I don't have anything against people who want to believe in religion at all, because I understand how powerful it can be when you believe it. It's extremely powerful. And it can be a very frightening thing, being a religious person too, especially children. It's frightening because on one hand, you've got this glorious, heaven that you can go to, and the wonderful God that's kind and loves you so much that he's, died for you and everything else. Then on the other hand, you've got this raging maniac of a God that wants you to burn in hellfire and brimstone for eternity. It's very confusing and conflicting for children, I think. I do believe children should probably not be subjected to religion until they're at least, at the very least 16. But if not, just not until adulthood maybe, when they can make their own minds up. But it's never going to happen. People will do what they do. They'll teach their children what they've been taught and what they believe in. And that's what happens. That's why we have Muslims from certain places and Christians from others, and other people believe in, who else is there? Krishna. And the Buddhists believe in Buddha. And you've got lots of different religions, of course. Taoism, all those things. Hail Satan. Crazy cat guy says, hail Satan. Be careful. Satan could be real and we might all be regretting it one day. This is what I think. Sometimes I think that, but I don't really think. I think it's metaphorical, to be honest. I think it's just metaphor. I don't know, because then again, there's some strange shit that happens in this world, isn't there? Ghosts and things like that people hear and see. What about that thing that was growling at me in the kitchen the other day? That whatever the hell that was, it was weird. I didn't even watch the replay. I should have watched it. Because I just generally, once I finish my lives, I just get rid of them. Otherwise, my YouTube would be completely full of them. There'd be millions of them. Hi, Vicky. How you doing? Welcome to Australia. Not much happening here. It was waiting for a big giant storm, but it's not really, hasn't eventuated. It was looking pretty wild for a while there, but now it's like not really happening. Yeah, the growl thing. Yeah. Hail Stan. Do you mean Stan the TV program thing that you can purchase TV on Stan TV? Or is there some dude called Stan? I used to work with a Stanley. He was fantastic. He was a good friend of mine. Actually, I don't even know what I've done with his number. I should give him a call. He got beaten to a pulp. Nearly died. Had to have half his skull replaced with a piece of metal. He just... Yeah, somebody was going around the corner and he was on the pedestrian crossing thing, the light crossing, not the pedestrian crossing, but where the lights, the little green man comes up and you can start crossing. And they basically hit him with their car, so he kicked their car, and then like 6 guys got out of this car and beat him almost to death. It was pretty bad for him, the poor thing. And now he has an acquired brain injury. He can still, he remembers who I am and stuff, because we worked together for a while, and he was a great workmate. He was a good partner to work with. I loved working with Stan. He was great. We had a lot of laughs. It was fun. Yeah, Alistair Meowley. Yeah. Everyone one believes that 666, but what they don't research is that belong. Before that, it was 415. They changed it to be more appealing. Ah, the growl. No, I don't think we told Maven about the growl. Yeah, I built a copy of the Ark of the Covenant. It was me, well, my father, me and my brother. We spent countless hours, months and months building it. It was precisely good. Like, he could have sold that to a goddamn museum for a fortune. I don't know who stole it, but he died and it was apparently still in the garage. And then when I got up there a couple of weeks later, it was not in the garage because I lived far away. So I had to organise to go there for the funeral, like a week and a half later. So it was kind of weird. Somebody stole the Ark of the Covenant from a garage in 63 Red Drive, Coffs Harbour. That's where I lived. I just remembered that. Oh my God, that just came out of my head. 63 Red Drive. I don't usually know where that was. But that's where I used to live. Something that would happen here. Yeah. Yeah, it was built to scale in cubits. I learned how to do cubits and everything. The Ark of the Covenant. We used fake gold spray to make it look like it was made of gold. There's no way we could have done it with real gold. We would have never afforded it. It would have been too expensive. We built the whole thing, and then we made the priest garments to go with it. It was a good learning process. It was better than doing nothing. It's more exciting than me building my teepees and things out in the bush. I used to build teepees, and then I used to go to the building sites and get brick pallets and get 44 gallon drums, put the brick pallets underneath the 44 gallon drums under the brick pallets and make rafts. Now I used to charge people to go across the lake. I was an entrepreneur extraordinaire. I used to charge other kids to go across the lake, like $1. Sometimes adults came and wanted to pay me to take them across the lake. They could have just walked around the lake. It would have taken them a while, but they wanted me to take them across. So I started charging people, and people paid. I was like, this is awesome. It was more fun than mowing lawns all the time, working in a Chinese shop, Chinese restaurant. I sometimes miss doing things like that, like just making things like a raft and just going out on the big lake. I might make one and go out on the big Brumdong Dam. I might do that. I'll probably sink. Yeah, the cubit. And there's a couple other ones, but I can't remember what the hell they called, but working in cubits, we had to learn how to convert. And then we had to basically build cubit yardstick things so that we had them there. But it was really good. Like, it was interesting to... He was actually considering building a Noah's Ark replica, but we could not have fit one on our block of land. It wouldn't have fitted. So that's the only reason we didn't end up with Noah's Ark as well. The Ark of the Covenant was the only thing that was doable, that was completely described in measurements and things in the Bible. Yeah, it was weird. It was such a weird time. And I had to study at one stage because, okay, so the King James Version of the Bible is altered. And there's a lot of different versions of the Bible, and they're all altered. So we had to study this ancient Hebrew textbook to try to learn the true meanings of what words were. when converted from the Dead Sea Scrolls and then turned into English words. So the English pronunciation that we see in the King James Bible is not what it really would be if we went back to the Hebrew meaning. So a lot of the wording, how it's been translated, has really lost its actual true meaning. And unless you know the Aramaic meanings and the Hebrew sort of definitions of things, from the writings on the actual Dead Sea Scrolls, a lot of the King James Bible is translated not very well. So it's made so that we can try to understand it, but it's not accurate the way it should be. And when you actually study the Hebrew and the ancient Aramaic writings and books about things of what meanings are, it changes a lot of stuff. And interpretations are very different to what is interpreted when an English person reads it in English. We're seeing a different story to somebody who can read and write and understand ancient Hebrew or Aramaic text. So that was fascinating as well. Well, we had Bible study 3 times a day, so we learnt a lot of... We would literally sit there for maybe 6 to 7 hours a day learning the Bible, but also learning these ancient texts as well to get the true meaning of what the actual words were. It was a bit insane, but it was pretty... It was actually interesting. It was not boring, that's for sure. It was interesting how different... I was astonished at how much difference there was and how hard it is to interpret some other language to your language to get it right. It's not easy at all. Some of the words there are no words for, and other words, English words, cannot. There's no way to say it in English that's where it's going to be the way that it would be to them, to their interpretation. So it's a strange thing how we don't realise, unless you study several languages and stuff, you don't realise how hard it is to learn and fully understand another language. So hats off to the people who can actually speak several languages and understand them and read and write them. I think it's crazy. There's so many variables there. They reckon English is the hardest language to learn. I believe it. If you think about the word there, the context that can be used into and how it could be different in this or that, T-H-E-I-R or T-H-E-R-E, and then how it's put into context changes everything. So we're more complex in language. I'm moving all over the place because I'm trying to make my back go flat. I don't know why. Hang on, I need to drink some water. Good luck learning it. Yeah, nearly dead language. Well, I didn't actually learn it myself, but I learnt how to interpret the meanings through this interpretation book, which had the actual ancient language on it. I learned a few things, but it was so darn complex. You really got to be quite smart. I've actually been, like, they were interpreting something I was watching the other day, they were interpreting a rock painting. that was maybe 13,000 years old according to the carbon dating. And they were interpreting, there was a whole heap of squares and then crisscrosses through the squares, and then there was some normal lines, just straight lines through the squares, and that was it. And then back to crisscrosses. And they were trying to figure out what on earth it all meant. It ended up that they realised that there was a rock, well, they think this is what it was. There was two peaks opposite it of a rock, and certain times of the year you could see the sun directly through the peaks, and it was like a rock window thing, through the peaks of these two rocks from that angle, only from that where that was. And it actually told when certain things were going to happen within the cosmos. Like, say there might have been the summer solstice and winter solstice, but say during that there's celestial events that are happening. And they actually figured out by watching, some dude just randomly must have walked along and seen that the sun was in between the rock one day, and he usually couldn't see it, and then went, well, hang on, this is interesting, and then started recording this. And I thought, well, how the heck did they have time for this back in those days? Because they would have been hunters and gatherers and moving mobile nomads, really. They wouldn't have been like we are. They weren't civilized. Well, there were civilized cities, but not very many of them. But even if there were civilized cities, the majority of people had to be busy continuously doing stuff, like hunting and gathering and stuff, or farming. So who knows what the heck went on. But I don't know how I got into this conversation with myself. It's a bit crazy. I don't even know what happened. I'm suddenly just talking about ancient civilizations now, but it is fascinating when you think about it. How did they know to do these things? Like the Mayan calendar is insanely crazy. They had 3 calendars, 3 separate calendars. And some of them were, 365-day calendar had 18 weeks, 18 months, 18 different, so we got 12 months in our calendar, but they had 18 in theirs, which made it about a 20-day cycle, which was 20 times 18 is 360. Is it? Yeah, 360. Yeah. So 5 days was missing. So I don't know what happened to the 5 missing days. But it did give 5 days, but it was once every 3 cycles, I think it was, they gave an extra day. So they had 18 months calendar. And we end up with a 12-month calendar. I actually don't mind the idea of having an 18-month calendar. Every 20 days, it changes to a different month. Why didn't they just have 3, okay, so we got 4 seasons. Why didn't they just have 4 giant months in the year? Instead of having 12 months, have 90-day months. So there'll only be, say you said January, April, August, November. January, April, August, and November. Say that's the only months you ever have. You get rid of all the rest of them, and then 90 days each. And then, actually, no, that wouldn't work, because then one would have to have 2 extra days, and one, they would have to have 91 days each, and then one would have an extra day on top of that. Now I've completely bamboozled myself and have no idea mathematically what the heck I'm talking about. How can a hieroglyph in a tomb depict a wheel, plane, car, push bike? It's way before its time. Yeah. But they might. But the other thing is, I was watching a thing, Ian, about it. If you take this weird vine juice stuff called something or other, I can't remember what the heck it's called. I was watching this, Washkaba or something it is. It's this ancient thing. It makes them all hallucinate. Well, they reckon now that all those cave paintings were based on drinking an ancient hallucinogenic wine drink. And that's where all those weird symbols came from. And then, after they've drawn those weird symbols that they saw while they were hallucinating and having a trip, basically, then they wrote stories about them. So they reckon hallucinating on some kind of weird, vine drug, the natural vine, mixed with whatever else it's mixed with. Ayahuasca, that's the stuff. That's the Mayan one. But before that, no, that's not the Mayan one. That's another one. That's the Inca. Ayahuasca is Incan, I think. They still have it to this day. Maxie, what are you doing? Max. Ayahuasca is the stuff is called that. Egypt. Yeah, in Egypt. Yeah, the ancient hieroglyphs is in Egypt. But they reckon a lot of people were hallucinating all these crazy animals and creatures and things like half humans, half mans and weird shapes. And then they wrote stories about them. And that's how they would have come up with all the different gods and things. This is what this is a theory. It might not be true. But it makes sense because there are things that look like spaceships and, half man and half beast and things on all sorts of cave paintings, not just the Egyptian ones, but even Aboriginal paintings and stuff. They have strange creatures depicting, things that you just would never have thought of unless you're off your head on some kind of drug. And that's what where they reckon it's all come from. And then they've created a myth about it to explain it away, which makes sense. I can see that could possibly have been the way that these things came into being, maybe. I don't really know, though. We would never really know. I would never take ayahuasca. I'd be frightened that if you had that, you would never come back from it. There's apparently, people take magic mushrooms and stuff. There's a clinic that they send women to go on magic mushrooms in America. And it's basically done under medical supervision. And I watched a show about this, and there was 4 ladies from the same family. So it was a mother, 2 of her daughters, and the grandmother. And the 4 of them went to all go on and have magic mushrooms under medical supervision. 2 of them had an excellent experience on the magic mushrooms. The older lady had a great experience, and the granddaughter had a great experience. But one of the daughters and the mother, one of them had a really terrible experience, one of the daughters, and got really depressed afterwards. And the mother kind of nothing really happened on the magic mushrooms for the mother. And they were talking about how it affects different people. I think I couldn't take anything like that because I think if that got in my brain, I would probably not recover. I'd probably die from it because you can die taking magic mushrooms if you have too much of it. You can definitely die. I wouldn't try it. I'm very careful. I don't think it's a smart move for me. Other people reckon it's great and they have a lovely time. But for me, I'd be very concerned. I just have too many bad reactions to too many things. I'd be thinking, what if I have an allergic reaction to it? I'm going to be in trouble. And then a hallucinogenic experience on top of that. It could be very dangerous. Maxie, you've been a snuggle bunny. Max cat. Yeah, Mackie cat. Cat's going crazy. Cat's going crazy. She wants a spoon. Mackie Mook. You're a very purry kitten. That could have happened. Ezekiel saw a wheel and was it a UFO? Car tire pushed by wheel is either real or hallucinations. Yeah. Well, it could be somebody seeing in the future. We just won't know, would we? We just don't know. It's one of those unknowns. But it's like the Muslim religion. I mean, seriously, Muhammad went into a cave and was high on drugs and then wrote the Quran and then confessed, come out and said that God came to him and all however it happened. And Moses watched a burning bush on a mountain and wrote the Ten Commandments. I mean, how do we not know he didn't just accidentally eat magic mushrooms and then hallucinate all this? We don't. Yet someone else could go and eat magic mushrooms and hallucinate a burning bush and say that there's new Ten Commandments, and people would be like, you're locked up, you're in a mental institution and pumping full of drugs. This is where we don't know, do we? Alcohol, mushrooms, anything to see. Yeah. And archaeologists found nothing to say he exists. Yeah. Well, this is right. I mean, we don't know. But you know what, though? I think keeping an open mind and just thinking, well, we don't know, but there's a lot of different possibilities. I don't know. Like, I think there's so many possibilities that could have been, you know. I mean, in all honesty, there's no evidence really that Jesus exists, except the Catholic Church reckons it's got the shroud of Jesus, but I don't really think that that's true. I think that they just say that they've got it. They say they've got all these holy relics and everything else, so I don't really believe them. But there were people that thought they found Noah's Ark on Mount Ararat, but it's been proven that it's not Noah's Ark. So, you know, but then again, I mean, I could be a prophet of something, and I would never know it, but I could be. And maybe I'm a prophet from some space alien, and I could say some profound words that mean 10 million things, and I have no idea about it because I just wasn't told. And then 3,000 years down the track, I could have I could have carved it into a piece of clay or something and lied down and died next to it, been preserved in some kind of Australian bush tomb, rock, and then get found 3,000 years later and be interpreted as some kind of bloody big religion. This is what could happen, see? The only thing found on Patmos was a cave, no drawings and nothing at all. Yeah. Well, often when I look at the cave drawings, I say, well, maybe they had a preschool or kindergarten outing and they got the kids to all face paint. Because sometimes that's what it looks like. And the interpretations that they have could be anything. Like, seriously, it's what you want. They interpret things to make themselves sort of feel relevant, I suppose. If there's a meaning to be made, we can make a meaning out of anything. It's like the police when they're building a case against somebody. If they've got it in their head that it's a certain person, they can make anything sound and create into anything to make it the truth, instead of actually, you never may know the real truth. There've been innocent people executed because they've honed in on them and not looked at anywhere else, and then later on the real killer gets done for something else and then confesses that they were the one who did that. And then later on, DNA's come up and proved it all. We interpret. Humans are biased for themselves. They will interpret according to what suits them the best. Like if I read a book, I'll interpret a book completely different to somebody else. And my interpretation will suit me because that's what I want to know or want to hear. Whereas someone else's interpretation will be completely different. And I may completely disagree with them over what the meaning of the book is. Really is endless possibilities of anything, really, when you think about it. Yeah. Actually, speaking of Scott, I haven't seen Scott for a few days. I think Scott's maybe, I don't know, I have to check in on him. I hope he's okay. I Haven't seen him for a while. Hope he wasn't offended by what I said. Because I'm not attacking a religion. I'm saying what I think about certain things. It may seem that it's an attack and an assault on because they have a strong belief in the God, but it's not. I'm just saying what to me is common sense. But, that's how it is. Like, if people fervently believe in something, then they get very offended very quickly when it's not when somebody else's idea of that thing is completely different. So it's kind of, that's what happens sometimes. But, well, this is the state of life. Like, this is what happens in life. You just got to be realising that not everyone's going to agree with everything that you think or feel. What are you doing, Missy? You are making a big of a mess. A big of a mess, you are. Like the aliens' extraordinary claims need extraordinary evidence. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think really, this universe, we have no idea what the heck is possible in this universe. The fact that we exist, the fact that something like an aardvark exists, all those, what are they called? Oh, I don't remember what they're called. What are them things that look like unicorns in the ocean? What are they called? Narwhal. The fact that they exist, and I only just discovered them when Beard told me about them, is pretty crazy. Like, my cat's trying to eat my thing. Yeah, Jonestown, yeah. Oh, led to their death because they believed. Yeah, Jim Jones. Or do you mean in the Bible, John 9:15? That's right. Jim was the truth, knowing the truth for those who died. That's right. They truly believed in him. It's like that alien guy, the one who said the big spaceship was coming to get everybody, and they all committed suicide. What was that cult called? Oh, can't remember what it was called, but they basically believed that there was an alien coming, and they all committed suicide lying in their bed drinking poison. And they totally believed him. And David Koresh, his followers, they believed that that they needed to die. They believed it all. And that's the thing. This is why you should always question everything. You're right, Ian. Question everything. If somebody comes up to me and says, I'm a police officer, I want to see some identification, I'm going to say to them, you show me your bloody identification before I'm going to bloody just comply to you. People impersonate police all the time. Next thing you know, you're in handcuffs and you're the victim of a serial killer, you know? Yeah, Heaven's Gate, that's them. That's them. He was so strange, that guy. But even when you watch him, he's convincing to ordinary people. Like, when you watch him, he's so charismatic. And that's why they're so dangerous. Have you heard of the Australian Jesus that lives somewhere in Queensland? He's got a big compound, and he thinks he's the second coming of Jesus Christ, and he's got followers all over the damn place. And then he met this woman who changed her name to Mary. She believed she was Mary Magdalene. And then she ended up leaving him, the Australian Jesus. You know, and I think, people just listened to him because they were hopeless. And they were fed up with normal religion. They wanted something that's, normal religion didn't work for them, so they're looking for a new thing that's still based on their own religion. And then he's going, oh, I'm Jesus Christ, second coming. I'm here. blah, blah, blah. Believe in me. He was very careful, very nice to them. So much so they all handed their money over to him, which they always do. They hand their money over. Can't remember what the heck his name is. Might have been Adrian somebody. Yeah, but this is an Australian one. It's an Australian Jesus. There was 60 Minutes did a thing on him. He's got a compound somewhere in Queensland, I think it is. And before that, he was like a con man and he was in trouble with the police and everything. He went to jail and stuff, and he got out and then he became Jesus. And this is the thing. He knows he's not Jesus. He bloody well knows it. You could tell he knows it. But he's so charismatic. And he's, you know, he's got a good personality. Even though he's a con man, he's got a good personality. That's all you got to have. I mean, seriously, all you got to have to start a cult is a good personality and be charismatic in how you deliver your message. If you sound like you believe it, everyone else is going to start believing it. My daughter and I joke a lot. We say we're going to make the cult of the Red Rooster cult with our rooster and turn him into a deity and see if people will actually join the cult. I said, oh, they will. The people will join it and believe any made-up fucking story you can think of that explains how this rooster is God. And you'll have thousands of followers very quickly. And you could probably make a fortune. I was going to try and do it just to see how many people would be stupid enough to do it. But then I thought, no, ethically, that is not a good thing to do, because then once they've believed in it all and then you take it all away and say, well, look, this was all just an experiment, that's going to blow their mind and probably make them commit suicide or something if they truly believed in it. That's the reason why I wouldn't do it. But in some ways I wish somebody would do it just to see what are people willing to believe in just to alleviate themselves, their loneliness, and alleviate their pain and suffering. They will believe in anything. It's whatever gives them hope. It's very easy. If you find vulnerable people who need hope, very easy to exploit them. Create something like Jonestown. Give them hope that, you know, it's going to be better and they're going to be included and they're going to be part of a community and blah, 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 blah. And then the next thing you know, they've given you every cent they've got and you got control of them. And they're living like slaves and zombies. I changed the view. Yeah, I'm just being lazy because I'm lying in bed. I'm trying to have an afternoon's sleep. Not in this view. There was some a couple of days ago, but I haven't seen them. I think I saw one yesterday. There was one yesterday. A big old fella was hopping along the back end of the ridge out the back. But I haven't seen any other than him. I haven't seen the pods of them for a few days, actually. Maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know. Hey, Ian, I was going to ask you, do you ever see Chris Gillespie anywhere? He kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. I was going to ask him how his pigeon's going, but I haven't seen him. I think I might have upset him accidentally. I didn't mean to, but I don't know, like, I might have upset him somehow. I hope not. Chris is a nice fella. Well, if Chris is truly a person that's saying who they say they are, they could be anybody. I mean, anybody can be anybody. That's the thing on here. I could be anybody. I could just be some crazy lunatic. Well, I am. But I could be like, I could not be me. I could be somebody else pretending to be me. You wouldn't know. This might not actually be my house. This could be someone else's. I could have just randomly squatted here and taken over it, and it's not mine. Nobody would know. People just will believe. This is the thing. People will believe anything. I'm not like, I tend to think, no, I'm going to question these things. Because I know how easy it is to get conned by people and how easy it is to con people who are vulnerable, because I've seen what churches do to people over the years, and I've seen what people do to their friends and things when it's money or whatever's involved, money and power. People will do the most ruthless, horrible things to get what they want. It's really pretty bad. You're an ex-con. Yeah. Well, some people are. And this is the thing, like, I'm actually, I prefer to listen to somebody who is, because they're going to be able to help you to avoid things. I used to talk to the people Dad used to rescue, the drug addicts and stuff Dad used to bring home. A lot of them had really shady pasts. Like, they'd done a lot of stints in prison, a lot of trouble, a lot of thieving, a lot of stealing, a lot of robberies and all sorts of stuff. But you know what? When you sit with them and you're talking to them, they're no different to anybody else. They've just made some silly choices. And most of the time it was due to really when they thought they had no other choice but to do what they were doing, because either they were affected by alcohol or drugs, or they were desperate for those things and couldn't get to them, so they'd, steal something. But as far as persons with their actual personalities and their actual who they were, most of them were not bad people at all. They were actually really nice people. As a matter of fact, 2 of the blokes that my father took in that were, seriously screwed up on drugs, protected me while they were there and got me out of some really horrible situations that otherwise I would have been, stuck in for a lot longer. And I was very grateful to those guys. I couldn't have cared less that they were ex-criminals at all. It was how they treated me as a human being, and how they treated my brother and my pets. I was big on how they treated my pets. If they were cruel to my animals, then I would instantly hate them. Instant. It would be instant. But most of them were decent people. They just made stupid choices, which we all do. You lost 2 friends. Yeah. And it's hard. It's very hard. And this is the thing, as people, this is what we do. I do this myself. If we fuck up and do something wrong, we really literally make ourselves pay for it. We don't need anybody else to pay for it. We torture our own selves with whatever we can, because we always feel like, we've screwed up and there's nothing we can do. Which is kind of it's a good thing in some ways that we do that, because it keeps us on the better path. But I think it's worse than if somebody just gave us a sentence and we finished our sentence, or a punishment. We finished our punishment and that was it. But we keep torturing ourselves in our own bloody brains over the decisions that we've made. But when you think about it, you could only have done what you could have done with the knowledge that you had at the time. And most of us will pick what we think is the best way to do something. And sometimes it's not the best way, but at the time we think it is, and that's what we do. So I think as humans, the worst mistake we make is not forgiving our own stupidity and the stupid shit that we do to ourselves. We just hate ourselves far worse. This is me. I punish myself far worse than anybody on the planet could ever punish me over the dumbest shit. And it's ridiculous.
The only positive thing about it is that it makes me stop and think and go, okay, I don't want to fuck up like that again. I want to make sure I'm not doing that again. Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's what happens. Okay. Elmo is calling. Okay, mate. Thanks for hanging. But yeah, this is what we do. We're our own worst enemies. We're our own judge and executioners. We really have to learn how to go easy on ourselves, I think. It is my problem. I've got to start being a bit more easier on myself. Not unaccountable, though. Keep yourself accountable, but realise that we all fuck up and screw up many times during our life. And it doesn't make us a terrible person. We just got to learn from it. It's when we don't learn from it and we keep on screwing up and we don't learn from it and we just continue down a bad path that we kind of go, okay, well, this is kind of hopeless, and maybe we're not really in a place where we're ready to grow yet. We're going to have to maybe take a few more hard knocks before we wake up and hit the rock bottom first and then wake up to ourselves. But it's a crazy thing. It's like now, this is why I don't like religion too much. There's good things, there's good morals and values in religion, and I totally have respect for those bits of things. But I think also the thing that I don't like about it is it causes people to live in worlds of guilt and terror, even over things that they cannot have any control over, like if there is a God or if there's a hell or anything. It is like a mind-controlling function, additional mind control function that's been put on the planet. This is what I think about religious things. Not all of them, but like the Buddhist religion, I can understand. Is probably the one I would favour out of all religions, simply because it's karmatic. It's you get what you put out is what you get back. And while karma is a good concept, it doesn't always work that way. You get some really horrible people that really are horrendous and really shouldn't be breathing, that end up living till they're 100 and having the time of their goddamn life. And then you get some people that are really good people that do the right thing, and they have the worst time of their life. They might be, given diseases and die young and have disasters happen to them. So karma is a concept that it doesn't always work out that way. We like to think it does. We like to say, a phrase that's often used by Western civilization and by people who don't believe in any Buddha or anything, but often they'll say, he'll get his karma. Karma's going to get him. Don't worry, let karma get him. But it doesn't always get him. Karma doesn't always work. But does it need to? Why do we need to worry if someone's going to get their karma or not? If they've wronged us, they've wronged us. Hold on to the fact that they've wronged you. Don't get rid of that, because you need to keep that there to protect yourself. But getting revenge and cycling into revenge aggression is really a terrible path and trap to be in. This I know. Feeling angry at somebody for 30, 40 years is a terrible way to live. There's no comfort or peace in it. I can understand why people... there was a lady called Anita Cobby who was murdered viciously and terribly when she was young. She was engaged to be married and she was murdered, and it was a bunch of absolute mongrels that did terrible things to her. And her parents went through absolute hell finding out what had happened to her. There's a book on her. I think it's called Not My Daughter. It might be. It's about a lady called Anita Cobby. And her parents, for years on end, struggled with dealing with what had happened. And then they got heavily into some kind of religion. It might have been Buddhism or whatever it was. Well, I don't know what it was, but they were that sick of feeling sick. And they actually ended up forgiving the men who did this. I don't think they truly forgive them, though. I think that the forgiveness that they have, I think, is only, it's limited. You couldn't really truly forgive somebody for butchering your daughter in that way and the horrendous things that they did to her. I mean, they did awful things. They tortured her. They didn't just murder her. They tortured her for several hours, these horrible bastards. But I think the forgiveness is only for their own sake. Because I have to come at peace with things in my life because, and I never will actually forgive. I don't think the concept of actual forgiveness exists. I think we can say we forgive and we can be less angry about things because we say we forgive, but we'll never be able to actually truly forgive those things because it's unforgivable. But what we can do is put the anger somewhere else. Not let it consume us. This is what I'm trying to get to. It's taken me so many damn years to get to that point where my anger is not consuming me. Because not only is it bad for your health, but also the other thing is it increases. When you're angry, you increase your anxiety severely. Like it goes right through the damn roof. It's not a good move. I always say I can't forgive the way that people may think I should forgive, but what I can do is I can say, this is given back to you people, this is on you, bye-bye, and close the door on them. That's all I can do. And I actually did do that. I have done that. I've walked away and never have anything to do with these people. I don't try and get revenge or anything. I couldn't care less, but I don't forgive, though. I never will. I'll always still have some anger. But it's only natural that you would have anger. But you try to forgive as much as possible. You never know what to do. For your own sake, of course. Forgive for your own sake. Allowing yourself to not be angry at things anymore, and that form of forgiveness is a smart one. Does that mean that you have to then engage with those people or deal with them? No. You can do that. You can let go of the anger without having to ever engage with them ever again. You will never understand, as much as people would like to understand why people wrong each other, we never really can fully understand why someone's ever done anything or why we've done anything. Like, we might think, oh, well, why did I do that? I've just done something terrible. Why did I do it? And we might not even know ourselves, so how the heck is someone else going to know? Philosophy is a difficult thing. My brain is ticking away. I've got wheels of cognitive philosophies flying through me all over the place. I've got firing cells going everywhere right now. And it's like, what do you do? Like, how do you really know if you've forgiven somebody? Can you? Is it true? I don't think fully, no. I don't think that concept is true. I think we want to believe it because it lessens our anger and it makes us physically be able to cope and mentally be able to cope. But I don't think absolute forgiveness exists. Like if a husband cheats on their wife, you can say, yeah, I forgive you. I forgive you in the sense that you can still stay here. We can still have our marriage. But you're not really going to forgive the hurt that they've put on you because that's not going to go away just because they say sorry. It's always going to be there. There'll be a pang of it here or there. And that's okay. You don't have to forgive that. You can maybe forgive from an understanding point of view. You know, maybe the guy's like, oh, you know, I did it because of this or that. And you might go, okay, well, I can understand. You shouldn't have, and it's wrong, but I can understand why you may have felt this or that at this point, and therefore I can sort of forgive the, that's sort of part of it. But you'll never really forgive the betrayal. Betrayal is something you don't forgive. You should never forgive betrayal. Betrayal is something you really should hang on to and take note of. And when I say hang on to it, don't dwell on it, but don't forget if someone's betrayed you. Don't ever trust them again. You can't. If you do trust them again, limit it. Trust them only with certain aspects of things, but don't ever trust them with the thing that they did, because it will never be trustworthy. The fact that they've done it in the first place just shows there's no trust to be given to them. That's pretty much a commonsensical move, I do believe. Who knows? Each to their own. Some people, I mean, I know people whose husbands have cheated on them and they stayed in the marriage and, you know, convinced themselves it was okay. But then later on, they kind of go, oh my God, you know, I've wasted my whole life forgiving this idiot who's, you know, not changed. Well, people don't change. They are what they are. Generally, if you're, you know, a lying, cheating partner, the chances are you're going to do the same thing again because you, somewhere in your mind, made it okay to do it the first time. You might be sorry about the fact that you did it. You might genuinely be sorry that you stuffed your relationship up by doing it, but the chances of you doing it again are extremely high, like a 99.9% chance that you're going to do that again because you give yourself permission to do it in the first place. Whereas somebody who does not give themselves permission to harm somebody in that way is probably going to be faithful no matter what's thrown at them. They're not going to take it. They're just rock solid. That's just how it is sometimes. And there are reasons sometimes, you know, people do things for the darndest reasons. It's not always black and white, and it's not always just the fault of the cheater. There could be a lot of factors happening. There could be emotional stress. There could be financial stress, physical stress. It could be all sorts of things coming into things, and that's what makes them make a decision to do the wrong thing. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with somebody who's feeling the way they're feeling, but they just really should be honest about it and say to the other person, now look, this is how I'm really feeling. But they won't because they don't want to lose the other person. They want their foot in both doors. See, this is where the problem happens. It's greediness. It's greed that causes cheating. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any cheats. If people just honestly said, look, you know, I'm not really into this anymore. You know, I'm starting to find myself attracted to another person, and I think this, you know, I could be heading down that pathway, so I'm just letting you know this is how it is for me. And then the woman or man can say, well, you know what, I don't like that, and I don't accept that, and I don't want you in my life. Or they can say, well, oh, you know what, I'm going to stick by you and risk it, and hopefully maybe there's something I can do to help change this situation. We're all very different. We may choose one or the other. But there's so many factors. We should really not. I mean, I don't like people who cheat. I think that they're untrustworthy. However, I should never really be judgmental of them in the sense that I don't know the factors that happen with everything. It could be a lot of different factors. And so I may not understand why they do things. I may not like what they've done. I may not like the character that's coming out. But unless I live in that life and I understand from the inside point of view, that being that person, I'm not going to really be able to sort of know what really goes on in the mind of somebody who goes through that. And then, you know, I'd imagine it would be pretty terrible being the cheater. It's bad enough being cheated on, but I think it would be, to some degree, worse being the cheater because you really have no redemption there. And it's like, are you going to be able to forgive yourself? Are you going to feel terrible I mean, I would not want to have the burden of knowing that I've done that to another human being. I think that would be pretty painful. I can sort of see from 2 points of view. Yes, it's terribly painful to be cheated on. I have had that pain many times. But I've also considered what it must be like to be the person who's done the wrong thing and really does regret it and wish that they had done some things differently, and is remorseful, because they can't take it back. You just can't undo it. It's done. And I think that would be a harder place to be in. I think they might have it harder. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know why I'm going on to that road of stuff either. Well, the storm has not happened, which is not surprising. I've done enough philosophising for now. I've been on here philosophising for 148 minutes. I'm pretty sure I've bored myself to tears. I'm pretty sure I've bored everyone else to tears. So I'm going to call it a night and head off. And I'm actually wanting to speak to Mr. Big Pipes at some point about these glass things, because I want to buy a glass pick. I want to buy a couple of them. I want to hear this harmonic thing. I'm very curious. I want him to show me with the glass pick what happens to his guitar, so I can sort of have an idea what it's about. Then I want to see if I can buy one too and get it posted here. I have to see what happens. Could be expensive. I don't know. I think it's a fantastic idea, having glass guitar picks. Pretty cool. Quite a novelty. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to head off. To the one person who's watching, thank you very much for hanging. And although however many people there are, there could be more than one. YouTube doesn't always tell the truth. You just can't trust it. But I'm going to go and have a sleep. I'm tired. I'm actually buggered. And I'll catch everybody later. Good night, Beard and Crazy Cat and Ian and KK Barrel Racing. And whoever else was here, I don't even know who else came along here. There's probably a few people that are maybe missing. But you guys have a lovely afternoon and evening or morning, and I'll catch you later. So take care, everybody. If it starts to storm really bad or anything, I may come back on and show the big storm, but I don't think it's going to do it. It's looking pretty mild right now. Thank goodness for that. Okay, bye for now. Later.